Maine, which means to get to Flight 11, which he'd long planned to hijack, he had to get a commuter jet in that morning from Portland, Maine to Boston, and if that was delayed in any bloody way, he was going to miss Flight 11. Now that's good planning, isn't it? But it gets better. This is the official FBI timeline of Attar that morning. His plane left Portland, Maine at 6 o'clock in the morning, the last plane he could get to Flight 11. According to the FBI, he checked out of his hotel in Portland, Maine at 27 minutes to take off. What did he do? Oversleep? I mean, did the alarm not go off? I mean, what's going on here? In that 27 minutes, he has to take his hire car back. He has to get from there to the check-in. He has to check in, put the baggage in, and he has to get through security. In 27 minutes. I bet there was a hell of a frickin' shout when he woke up and saw the time. Abdul! Get up! Bloody knickers and shirts everywhere, I bet. Ludicrous! Oh, and then we've got, a lot of people think, again, image, when I say, well, there's no, I'm not saying he wasn't, by the way, but there is actually no evidence that he got on the plane. I actually said to the airlines, can you confirm, simple question, can you confirm that the hijackers named by the FBI passed through your normal check-in procedures? Their reply, we can't answer that, you'll have to ask the FBI. What? Simple question, yes or no? So, but people think that, oh yes, there was evidence, that's all, there was surveillance cameras have been getting on the plane. No. Name me one international airport in the whole of this world, especially today, that doesn't have cameras in its departure lounge. Boston Logan. Anyway, the pictures of Attar were him coming through security at Portland, Maine. And if you look, this is how they framed it in the media, basically, and the timeline is 5:45, quarter of an hour to the plane taking off. That means he has left the hotel at 5:33, driven to the airport, parked the car, gone across to the airport, checked in, and got here in between 5:33 and 5:45. Maybe he's a shapeshifter. Maybe he is, I don't know. Now, where that is the last place you would put the timing of a security video. You want to see the people. This is where you'd put it. Oh, hey, what does this one say? 5:53:41, 6 minutes to the plane taking off, bit more like it, which is why the check-in people were quoted as saying, who checked him in at Portland, Maine, he was sweating blood. He said he was running late. And I went back to the security people, the lovely lady at Portland, Maine, and I said, can you explain to me why there are 2 time codes on that video footage and one is slap bang in the middle of the screen? She said, no, I can't. I said, well, could you have a look at it and let me know? Or can't? She said, the FBI confiscated that on September the 11th. Control events. Control the official story. As I say, I'm not saying he wasn't on, and I'm saying is there's no evidence to say he was. And then there's this guy, Alan Morey. Whoa, he's looking like he's going to die the next day, isn't he? This was taken at Portland, Maine. He was supposed to be with Attar that morning. And here he is, Al-Amori, Abdulaziz Al-Amori, one of the hijackers, except that, as was established later, that's not Al-Amori, that's Al-Amori. He's a pilot with Saudi Airlines who walked into the consulate in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on the morning of September the 11th and said, why am I being named as a hijacker? I'm having breakfast with me family when it was all going on. And then you've got Lotfi Racy, 5 months in jail because the FBI said he trained hijackers. Had to be let go after 5 months because there was no evidence, and they said he was an Islamic extremist when he was married to a white Roman Catholic. What I'm saying here is these are the people that have told us the official story. And how the hell many of these people in Guantanamo Bay are not guilty of anything? Nearly 700 of them been there now, well over a year in those conditions. No trial, no lawyer, no charge. These are the guys you wouldn't buy a bloody new Mercedes off these people. They have the ones that have orchestrated the official story of 9/11. And also, the way the towers fell were very, very suspicious. And one story I read recently is these towers were actually lined with explosives anyway, as a matter of course, as a safety device. In case one of them was toppling over, they would bring it down because of the devastation that it would cause if it fell the full length across New York. But we can find out what caused those towers to collapse in the same way that we could find out what caused the Murrah building to collapse. You get independent experts into the rubble and you do the research. You look at the metal and you research it and you find out what was the cause of the collapse. Controlled demolition group were employed by the government to take it away, so it's not possible. Just a coincidence, nothing to worry about. So then you have the reaction. And the reaction, of course, is connected to all this. There's your secret agenda. You want to introduce a war on terrorism. You need the excuse, so you play the movie here and you give your reaction or your story of what happened to glean the reaction that you want from the public. Do something. We must be protected. I like this. Will you lie first or shall I? So, these two immediately come together as they have been since 9/11. And you work the emotions of the people. You make it polarized. Either you're with us or you're against us, or you're intelligent in that case. And you polarize everything. You don't show pictures of Arab people who are tremendously sad at what happened. You just keep focusing on the images you want people to glean to take on the official version of events. Abraham Lincoln said, "Public sentiment is everything. With public sentiment nothing can fail. Without it nothing can succeed. He who molds opinion is greater than he who enacts the laws." He might have added, once you mold opinion, you can exact any laws that you want. Now, what we're seeing is a very old technique. This is what a major Nazi said in the last century. Why, of course the people don't want war. Why should some poor slob on a farm want to risk his life in a war when the best he can get out of it is to come back to his farm in one piece? Naturally, the common people don't want war. Neither in Russia, nor in England, nor for that matter in Germany. That is understood. But after all, it is the leaders of the country who determine the policy, and it is always a simple matter to drag the people along, whether it is a democracy or a fascist dictatorship. Voice or no voice, the people can always be brought to the bidding of the leaders. That is easy. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked and denounce the peacemakers for their lack of patriotism and exposing the country to danger. It works the same in any country. Hermann Göring. Exactly what has happened since 9/11 and continues to happen, because the same mentality is running this show on a global level that was running it during the Second World War. This is Tony Blair showing the evidence that bin Laden did it. Orchestrated it from a cave in Afghanistan. This is him showing the file against bin Laden and the dossier to the military. There it is, look. And this is the Americans looking at the evidence against bin Laden. So we're all right. We've sorted it out. There's a reason why they wanted to bring Afghanistan in it. There's Bumsfeld, I call him. Lies, 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 lies. I'm sorry, that's all I can say. All my other lies are classified. See what Bush said about bin Laden. They are harboring a terrorist and they need to hand him over. There's no need to discuss innocence or guilt. We know he's guilty. This is the justice of the new, brave new world. And remember the confession video? Bin Laden? Well, if that bin Laden they said was earlier is the same bin Laden on the video, then all I can say, he's had a number of calls from the Kandahar Cream Cake Company. He must have done. And the Kandahar Nose Job Company cave visits a speciality. We have an alleged confession video in which in the whole conversation nothing is mentioned about the fact Afghanistan is being bombed by America and Britain, even though it's so far advanced that Kabul is only a few days from being taken. And then this is what Greg Strauss, the visual effects supervisor who worked on Titanic, the movie Titanic, said. That's how we make our money, kind of faking things to convince everyone it's real. We just did some Nike commercials where half the people are digital. You wouldn't be able to pick them out. This is the world we now live in terms of visual technology and possibility. It really is the time not to believe what we think our eyes see without checking it out and questioning it. Then I love this line in the video. We did not reveal the operation to them until just before they boarded the planes.